Once upon a time, we had the Vanguard Strike playlist, and contained within that playlist were strikes. I know. We didn't have battlegrounds, we didn't have operations, we didn't have any portal slop. It was just strikes, self-contained adventures, each telling their own little story that somehow connected to the overall Destiny narrative at the time. Some of these were good, some of these were not so good. However, what you cannot deny is that strikes all were worth playing for one reason or another. That one reason being is that almost every single strike in the first 5 years of Destiny had strike-specific loot that the players could earn. Now, my young bloods, you may not know what strike-specific loot is, however, I do. Let me tell you what it was. Strike-specific loots, effectively speaking, were going into the strike, killing the boss, and then just taking their chain, right? It was the equivalent to doing a little dancey dance on them after you come into their spot and blow their shit up. You beat a boss, cool. Now you have his armor. You kill a god, cool. Now you can turn him into a gun. It is no exaggeration to say that in Destiny 1, these weapons were some of the most desirable in the game, and in Destiny 2, while not as powerful as their Destiny 1 counterparts, they were still unique enough to justify chasing, and some would say powerful enough to grind the game to get them. Now, in Destiny 2, post Beyond Light, a lot of the strike-exclusive weapons were moved into the Grandmaster Nightfall playlist as Grandmaster Nightfall-specific rewards. However, those just don't scratch the same itch. They don't scratch the same itch as strike-specific loot. Now, we did have some semblance of strike-specific loot within Grandmaster Nightfall. As for the majority of Beyond Light into Witch Queen, Horror's Least, at least, was strike-specific to the Corrupted, but then eventually it was moved into the general Grandmaster Nightfall Adept loot pool. So strike-specific rewards died with Beyond Light. Unfortunately, due to Bungie's new philosophy surrounding greater replayability around existing content and not adding content that's going to be immediately removed from the game, cough, cough, seasonal model, we have seen the Strike playlist be absolutely flooded with season slop. I'm talking battlegrounds, I'm talking heists, I'm talking data breaches, I'm talking catch crashes, right? Just random ass activities that never in your wildest dreams could these be considered strikes are just pumped into the new and improved Vanguard Ops playlist. And on top of all that, as of the Edge of Fate, Grandmaster Nightfalls are removed. They are no more. There is no way to get these adept weapons anymore. These previously strike exclusive loots, you used to be able to get them a little bit better with the Grandmaster Nightfalls being an adept, but you can't even do that anymore. This fantastic system was removed in favor of what? Nothing! They removed it in favor of nothing. I don't understand why. There's no problem with scarcity. Otherwise, the epic raid wouldn't have additional rewards compared to the regular raid. We want to incentivize players to play specific activities to get exclusive rewards from that activity. In Destiny 2 Vanilla, it was bad enough that there were no random rolls, right? So once you got your DFA, once you got your duty bound, that's it. You were done. There was no reason to go back into Paragon to get the Silicon Aroma, right? Out once you've gotten it one time already. Going into year 2, into Forsaken years, we got Horror's Lease and Mindbender's Ambition, 2 of the best Nightfall or Strike exclusive guns we had ever seen before. But Mindbender's Ambition was sunset out of the game. You couldn't get it post Beyond Light. They added it back relatively recently as a shell of its former self. It's so confusing. It's just game design for babies. I really don't understand. I'm getting rage baited by Bungie every single time I log onto this game. I'm crying out of pure frustration. Thanks, Luke Smith. I hope that you can feel my passion. I used to sit down after high school in 2014, 2015, and I would just grind the Strike playlist mindlessly, endlessly. The Strike playlist was my home, and I haven't really complained as it's been changed over the course of the years. I started bitching a whole hell of a lot more once the Strike playlist became the Vanguard's Operation playlist and they started throwing season slop into it. The removal of Strike-specific gear is my Roman Empire. It is just one of the more infuriating, fascinating, questionable decisions that Bungie have ever made. almost as questionable as ignoring Gambit since 2018. They have a core pillar of their game that they turn into season slop, and then they ignore it, and then they wonder why nobody plays it. Praise the efficiency of the portal all you want. There is no fun in any of this. There's nothing more frustrating than sitting there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, playing through Vanguard ops, trying to get an actual strike on the line instead of Battleground Europa for the third time in a row. And then once you finally get your strike, you think to yourself, why on earth am I even playing this in the first place? It is just portal swap. There is no differentiation. There is no meaningful difference between any of the activities. Thus, you play the one that you can do the fastest to get the most gear, the quickest to move on to the next thing. It is loot slop, it is portal slop, it is season slop. There is no joy maxing. There is no fun pilled. There's just, it's nothing.
You see, this is how crazy Bungie makes me. They want order from their slop tubers. Bungie must set aside their pride and turn strike-specific loot back on. Whenever they don't, I will pitch some more. Starting tonight, I'm a man of my word.
So now you're thinking to yourself, what on earth am I even still doing here? I just wasted 6 minutes and 29 seconds of my life watching this dude go on an absolutely schizophrenic meltdown about strike-specific loot that I don't even care about. Where's the solutions? Is this just bitching? Let me cook, man. Let me cook. You just gotta give me a minute to just let me cook. I got the solutions in the bag right here. And my suggestion is very simple. Bring back strike-specific gear. Now, that means nothing if the existing strike gear isn't updated, and if they aren't making strikes anymore, period. Bungie can commit to making strike-specific loot all they want, but if they don't make any more strikes, that's the kicker right there. They do not have to make any strike-specific loot. So, solution 2. Revert the emphasis to focus on season slot, because this season, right, the only thing we did end up getting for Edge of Fate was the Civ activity. There was no other season slot to play, and the Conductor's Keep, the reclaim activities from Ash and Iron, I don't think I've seen a single soul who actually said they like those, even though it is a pseudo dungeon crawler roguelite event. Nobody likes them. Great. They tried, they failed, but really to anybody, they're just no different than expeditions. So besides that, do I, Mr. Armchair Game Developer, recommend that Bungie do anything else? Pretty much no. I think I would just be happy if strike-specific loot was brought back. There is greater issues with the portal, specifically with the Fireteam playlist. It really isn't made for me anymore per se. I much prefer the strikes the way they used to be. Destiny 1, Age of Triumph, there was the system of daybreak strikes right at the very end of the game with the scoring system that determines your reward, and there was a key with a skeleton chest at the end of it. I think that may be able to be integrated in some other way, because as of right now, we really only have the scoring system and rewards factor. There is no skeleton key factor guaranteeing you the strike specific reward from that strike, so I would like to see that come back, but besides that, it pretty much is just revert to what we know already works. And besides that, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for watching this video. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, share. This one took me a little bit longer than usual to make. I had a shit ton of fun making this one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Remember, you mean something to somebody out there. Do something good for someone today. Maybe make someone smile, do a good turn daily, some old Boy Scout wisdom. And once again, I'd like to thank each and every single one of you for watching. Have a great day and take care now.